Well, it is Friday, September 8th, 2017, and it's time for us to take a look at some of our Alaska headlines. A plane crash landed at Anchorage International Airport, actually just moments after takeoff. It was a medical transport realized they had problems with their landing gear and immediately put right back down. And you could tell in the way it landed that one of the gears had gone up, the other one did not, and then the other one didn't come back down. So it landed all cattywampus. Nobody on board was hurt, but there was a person who was being medically transported who was on board the plane. NTSB is investigating. Juneau's population has declined for the first time in a decade. Apparently they lost about 400 people. It's not like they just lost them, they moved someplace else. A new report says that nearly every single major crime in Alaska has trended upward in 2016. The only two that did not were murder and arson. Everything else up. Also, high-frequency radios. I don't know if you're aware about this. A lot of people are concerned that if an EMP goes off, of course, we're going to lose the internet. We're going to lose satellite communications. We're going to lose our cell phones. All this stuff basically is going to go away when the technology crashes in the EMP, except one, the high-frequency radio communications that are used by the Civil Air Patrol. And right now they're putting in more antennas so that they can continue to talk to each other and to those outside the state of Alaska. Another famous person caught on film in Alaska, Neil Patrick Harris, the latest actor to visit the last frontier. Unless you think that is important, I do want to let you know that a man in Tanana has been accused of threatening a postal worker. He was arrested on Tuesday night. This fellow is 19 years old. He was making statements about wanting to harm the postal worker. And then he made a number of very threatening posts on Facebook that basically talks about how he wants to kill all Americans. And as an Indian, he wanted to assert his ownership of the land. Anchorage Airport fuelers are not going to be going on strike after all. They voted instead for a deal with Menzies. And a marijuana grow in the North Pole area got the green light from the borough planners. Despite vigorous neighborhood opposition, what it came down to is that they applied for a marijuana grow in basically an industrial area. Well, if you're a residential area and you don't want that in your neighborhood, you need to organize before the fact. They've had, 20, 30 years to reorganize that they're a residential area. They've not done it. Well, now they can't deny the marijuana grow out of that area. Governor Walker says that the current interest in Alaska LNG is unprecedented, and therefore we are all pursuing this together. And there are a number of other stories that we don't have time for here in the video. Everything from an ELT signal that was originated at a landfill, to a new brewing company in Wasilla called QUAKE, to the reopening of the Dome. You want to hear more about that? Become a subscriber at radiofreespeech.com and get the 30 to 40-minute version delivered directly to your inbox every morning at 5 a.m.